LJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to my village of Nintendo Switch and gaming news. We've got a lot of great information for you guys, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, Runner 3 has been reconfirmed as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. This is coming from Choice Provisions' Dant Rambo. Quote, "After years of spreading ourselves thin, focusing on several platforms at once, it's been an incredible relief to focus all our efforts on just one platform, and for it to be so easy to develop for," says Rambo. There has been some confusion as to what's up with Runner 3 in terms of exclusivity or not, but it seems like we have a double confirmation on the matter, and the title will be coming just to the Nintendo Switch. And guys, just to let you know, I absolutely love Runner. You guys have heard me talk about it before. This is one of my favorite games, whether it's indie or not on the Wii U. I absolutely loved Runner 2. I thought it was just an amazing game. It was so much fun to play. There was a lot of different variety as far as the music goes and in terms of the level layout. And I think that if you look at that initial trailer, you can see that they've taken things up to like the next level when it comes to the different types of layouts and even the camera angles, because now you actually have going from right to left instead of just from left to right, and you actually have levels that go into the screen and potentially even come outwards out of the screen. So that's completely different from Bit Trip Runner 2 and the other Bit Trip games, where really you only have like the modern style graphics, and they also have like some retro levels in Bit Trip Runner 2, or just the completely retro levels that they had there. So this time they're actually taking things to a whole nother level with the type of gameplay styles and camera angles and what they're doing there. And believe it or not, going into a level and having to do platforming parts that Runner does actually changes up quite a bit compared to just a 2D or even going from right to left. There's going to be a lot of different variety within just doing that, just the camera angles. So I'm super excited to just play this game and get it as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. I can play this game anywhere I want, and Runner 2 is actually one of those games that I played a lot in portable mode at first. So I really love the fact that the Nintendo Switch can basically be taken anywhere, because then I can play it just like I played it on the Wii U, in addition to playing it on my big screen TV as well. So really looking forward to Runner 3, and if you guys have not played Runner 2, it's on a variety of platforms. Check it out to see if you'd be interested in this type of game. It doesn't look appealing. Like if you've never played it and never given it a shot, it doesn't really look too appealing, but then when you start playing it and you see the controls, you see the type of variety that you can do with the different dance moves to get the points, it just becomes addicting. Even the little mini game at the end where you shoot off and try to get the bullseye, everything just becomes so good with that game the more you play it. So give it a try on whatever your platform is. It's on PS4, it's on PC, it's on everything. Go try out Runner 2, and then you guys might see why I'm so excited for this game. And this is a huge exclusive for Nintendo. This is very big. Like I said, I don't care if it's indie or not. I am super excited for this, and I'm treating it just as highly as one of Nintendo's own first-party games, because I absolutely love the Runner franchise. So good stuff all around, just so we can have this as an exclusive. But once again, I don't care if it's exclusive or not. I'm just happy that they're making the game and I can finally play it so many years after Runner 2. Alright, next we're going to move on to a little bit of news on the Nintendo Switch home screen. So it actually changes once you get 12 or more games. So the Nintendo Switch seems to be full of some secrets. We have the activity log that came out after 1 week. It pretty much logs how many hours you've put. Now we have another little secret here. So if you have more than 12 games, which is tough because there isn't a ton of games on the platform at this point, they'll actually have an all software button that you can access at the very end, to where you can actually see all of your games right there. So I think that's a nice little touch that they added in there, and I can see them customizing things even further as they go along. And these are the type of things that I like to see, and I feel that Nintendo will continue to make changes and tweaks based on the type of software that's coming out. I feel that going with NVIDIA probably helped them shape their OS to the point to where it will be able to be changed, and improvements can come a lot easier than with the Wii U, which was pretty much locked into what the Wii U was. Nintendo didn't plan on changing that OS too much. That's why I really never got any real updates or features added to the system, where I think with the Nintendo Switch that's completely different. So exciting to see little things like this, and we'll see what else the Nintendo Switch holds in store for us going forward in the future. Alright, and next we have the Nintendo of America president, Regginator, commenting on connectivity issues, dock scratching, and more. So Nintendo of America president Regginator has spoken to Time about a number of issues that have cropped up regarding the Nintendo Switch. One of the things that Reggie addressed is the Joy-Con connectivity problem that some people have been experiencing. He also talked about the fact that some people's Nintendo Switch systems are being scratched when taken out of the Nintendo Switch dock. First, on the connectivity reports with the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. Quote, "First, we've seen the inquiries, and we here at the Americas are looking at all the information we can get our hands on. We are in the early days of the system launch. We want as much consumer feedback as possible. We are directing consumers to contact us through Nintendo support for any and all potential questions they may have. Specifically on the Joy-Con syncing, all I can tell you is that we are aware and we have seen some of the reports. We're asking consumers a lot of questions. That's why we want to get consumers on our helpline so we can get as much information to understand the situation as possible. So we are in the fact-finding mode to really understand the situation and the scenarios, and with that information, we'll look and see what the next steps are. Now, moving on to the reports that the Nintendo Switch dock is scratching the actual Nintendo Switch screen on the tablet. Again, this is why we're encouraging consumers to reach out to us directly. We have done, as you know, literally hundreds of events, starting with our activity back in January, and most recently, the various tours that we continue to take the system out on. As soon as I heard of this report, I asked my teams, have we seen this in our own experience? And the candid answer has been no. So throughout all of those experiences, throughout the docking and undocking we've done, we haven't seen it. So this is one where if it's happening, we want to understand more as to what the specific situation is, which is why we want consumers to let us know through our support site. So at least they do have that support site built in, obviously, so you can call them and let them know if you're having issues, if you scratched your screen, what's going on with the Joy-Cons. But I do want to address the Joy-Con issue first, which I've talked about before. I did my own test, and it seems to me like it might lose a sync or connection the further you go back. So the further back you go, the more of a connection that it might lose. To me, I had to go all the way to the back of my room and pretty much be leaned up against the wall, be very far away from my TV for there to be any issue. As soon as I took one step forward, it was just fine, and I didn't have an issue with the Joy-Cons at all, and I didn't have any interference or anything like that as far as getting in front of it. I know some people have talked about Wi-Fi issues being a little short. I haven't had that issue at all. I'm not sure what Nintendo can do about that, but obviously checking your router and making sure everything's good there is first and foremost. And when it comes to the screen scratching thing, I actually did my own tutorial about that, how the dock is actually bigger than the width of the Nintendo Switch as far as the surface space goes. So you shouldn't really scratch your screen at all if you're careful and just move it across the back and just slide down carefully. Not even slide, just kind of put in carefully. If you slowly take off the Nintendo Switch tablet normally, you shouldn't really have any issues there, or you can get a screen protector, or you can put a cloth on there. There's various issues. But yeah, that's something that definitely Nintendo needs to make sure that they address. And maybe in a redesign of the Nintendo Switch dock, maybe they put out something to where the front isn't so pointed. There's like a little padded filtering, because some people just aren't as careful with the technology as others. That's just pretty much a fact at this point. I know me, I'm always very careful with my tech, but some people don't do that. So that's just one thing that Nintendo, maybe they didn't account for, because probably everything that they're doing at their events, they're slowly guiding it down in there. They're playing the Nintendo Switch at a normal distance from the TV. They're not moving all the way back or anything like that. So that's probably what's going on there when it comes to the dock and not scratching or anything like that. If you're careful with it, you shouldn't have any issues at all. I've heard a lot of what you guys have to say on the matter, so I just think that's something that Nintendo just needs to work through and make sure that they work out anything as far as people having issues and understand each situation that someone is in whenever we're talking about any type of issue. Based on what I'm looking at on my friends list and everything, doesn't seem like a ton of people are having so many issues to where they can't play Legend of Zelda. I remember one time seeing on my Nintendo Switch, I had over 100 people playing a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, so it seems like people are playing and not having any type of issues for the most part, but still something definitely to be concerning, and making sure that if you do have any issues, make sure you call up Nintendo to see if they can help you out. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you ninjas for the next video. Peace!